candles were able to defend 110K, but will they have enough strength to continue getting more upside? Let's find out. Welcome back to Flex Candle, where we read the candles and flex the moves. I'm Flex, and today we're diving into a full top-down analysis on Bitcoin. We're going to start from the higher time frames, work our way down to the lower time frames, and check to see if we find any good setups. Now remember, this is not financial advice, I'm just reading the charts. Alright guys, it's about 5:15 p.m. Eastern time. The price of Bitcoin is currently at 111,217. Yesterday we had a big weekly candle close and also a daily candle close. Let's go over that right now. So as we can see, the week before we had a red engulfing candle with tweezer tops. That usually signifies we're going to go lower, which we did this last week. This last week we went as high as 115,963. We went as low as 103,528, and we ended up closing at 108,642. Now we did close below the 21 moving average, which is at 112,874. We had the bearish divergence here on the stochastics RSI, and as you can see, the stochastics rolled over here. So a lot of bearish things. What's bullish is that we were able to stay above the 50 moving average, which is at 102,397. Many of you guys know that I feel like if we close below the 50 moving average on the weekly chart, that might be the beginning of the bear market due to past history. That's usually what ends up happening. Now, we did eat some of this wick, like I told you guys prior. When we see a long wick either to the downside or even to the upside, usually we come back to eat that wick. Look what happened here. We had this topping tail kind of, but we had this red candle here with this long wick, and then all of a sudden the next week you saw a big red candle. This is similar. We had a long wick, we ate half of the wick here. So far right now we are opening up green. We are at 111,000. We are above 110K, so this is definitely bullish. Now we probably could stay within 110K and 120K as the range. We do not want to fall below 110K. That's going to be bearish and is probably going to take us down to lower prices. Now if we take a look at the 2-week chart, this closes in 6 days and 3 hours. We see that the stochastics are rolling over, the RSI is on the way down, but we are above the 21 moving average. So far we do have a red candle but with a wick, so let's see how that closes in next week. Now if we take a look at the 12-day chart, we see that the stochastics RSI is on the way down, but on the 10-day chart we're starting to get some curvature back up. So this might, keep us going sideways and not necessarily have us dump so low. So that looks a little bit positive in my eyes. On the 6-day chart, what I'm not liking is that we are rolling over here. We do close this candle in about a day and 3 hours. As you can see, it's just really pretty much a wick at the moment, which is better than us getting a full red candle. So let's see how that ends up closing. On the other time frames, the 5-day is rolling over. On the 4-day, we're starting to see a little reset here. We're starting to see some curvature up. The RSI is also starting to curve up a little bit. On the 3-day chart, we still might need some time here. The RSI is curving up though. We need to get above these 21 moving averages though as soon as possible in order to really stay bullish. 2-day chart is starting to get some curvature here. We did bounce off the 100 moving average, which is good, but again, we got to get above this 21 moving average. Now on the daily chart, the stochastics have been reset for a while, but we've been dragging here for a while. We're playing out a scenario kind of like this. Now we're finally pointing up. There's no guarantees we're going to go straight up. We could easily roll over again, but a positive thing yesterday was that we did close above the 21 moving average, which is at 107,875. Currently we're above 110K, so if we could stay above this. I did have this in a head and shoulder pattern, but we never confirmed. We got a little bit below the neckline, but then the very next candle was green, then we had another green, and so far we're having a third green candle here. So if we could close green here, we might have negated this head and shoulder pattern. Now what could be happening is a possible inverted head and shoulder, where this is the left shoulder. If we make it all the way up at least to the 21 moving average, even if we reject, that could be starting to form the right shoulder. Then all of a sudden the measure move to that will bring us back up above 120K. Easily like that, things could turn around. So hopefully this was just a scare and we do not get below the 200 moving average, because if we do break it again, then I would really do think that we're going to go below 110K, close to 100K, and possibly even lower. So this is right now our last stand here. We must stay above this 200 moving average on the daily time frame. Right now everything's looking positive. This candle closes in about 2 hours and 45 minutes. Hopefully we could close green here. Even if tomorrow we get a red candle, that would just make us go sideways. As long as we don't break the 200, and then we could get another green candle back up. Now on the 22-hour chart, we're starting to go up on the stochastics. The RSI is on the way up. We pierced the 21 moving average briefly, but we're trying to fight to stay alive. This closes in 45 minutes. This is where I'm also seeing an inverted head and shoulder, but we would have to get to the neckline, which is at the 200 moving average. I would like to get there while the stochastics RSI go up, and then we could get rejected to make the right shoulder. So let's see if that ends up happening. On the 10-hour chart though, we are starting to get toppy. Now on the way down, I would love to stay above this 21 moving average. If we break this, then there could be more downside. So it's important now that these stochastics on the time frames, since they're getting toppy, we must remain above this 21 moving average. The same thing for the 8 hour. On the 4 hour, this is not looking good. We're toppy here. We barely got above the 21 and the 50 moving average. Again, when this resets, unless we get a curvature and we could get back up, to me, we're not safe unless we could really get above this 200 moving average at $114,809 with strength. This is where I'll feel more confident. But if we could stay at least above this 21 moving average, that's still a good sign. On the 1 hour chart, stochastics are on the way up, but we look kind of like we want to roll over. This is flagging out here, and we have the 21 moving average crossing the 200 moving average. We dipped below the 200 and the 21 here briefly, but then we got back up. So this is showing strength. So right now, what I'm seeing here is kind of like a flag pattern. And let's see if we could maintain ourselves above this 21 moving average, or at least above this 200 moving average. This should give us a nice little move up. And let's see what the measured move to that would be. So this could quite possibly take us up to about 114,553, which is what I've been saying, that I feel like we could make it back up to at least 115. After that, we have to see what ends up happening, because if we get rejected and we go below 110, I feel like we will be having more downside. If we could get rejected from 115 and stay strong above 110, then we could probably go for more upside. Now, this is also looking to me like a possible inverted head and shoulder, left shoulder, head, and maybe we'll go sideways here, make the right shoulder, and then that'll make us go up. It's not going to give us the same measured move as this flag, but it will definitely take us up possibly above 112k. So that's looking good on the 1 hour chart. And on the 15-minute chart here, the stochastics are toppy. It looks like we could roll over here. We do have some wickage here. So again, a lot of it is going to dictate when we reset on the stochastics here on the 15-minute, especially on the 4 hour, where is price range going to be? If we could once again stay above the 21 moving average, I'm calling for more upside. If we lose the 21 moving average when this resets, then it's possible we might go lower. Right now, what's important, honestly, I just want to close this daily candle green, and I want to stay not only above the 200 moving average, but I really want to stay above 110k. That's going to be vital. If we could do that, then I could see us going to 115, at least for the short term, and then we'll determine once we get there what could happen next. All right, guys, so that's the breakdown. If this gave you clarity or a setup to watch, do me a favor, like, drop a comment, subscribe, and if you have a stock or crypto you want me to go over, drop it in the comment section. This is Flex Candle, where we read the candles and flex the moves. Catch you on the next chart.